Just go land carefully, not too hard, not too soft. The landing legs are very durable, so you know. Not the best landing I had, but there we go. Okay, not the best landing, but you know, you get the point, right? You get the point. I hope. Oh man, it's gonna fall over. Hello guys, welcome back to Gemini Gamers. Today we'll be reviewing a Kerbal Space Program mod called Kerbal Reusability Expansion, or KRE for short, which was created by Ember's Arc. And it's based on the Falcon 9 rocket, the New Glenn rocket, and the New Shepard rocket, and the Dragon spacecraft. So if you're looking for that in a mod, this is the mod for you, kind of. But you know, it's not. The modder didn't make all the rocket. They didn't make the tanks. They just added the parts so you can build them in the game, or something similar to the rocket in the real world. That's something I like because you know, once you have the parts modded into the game, and you have fun with them for a little bit, but then you start not really having fun with them anymore because you know they're rockets, real life rockets. They don't have the same usability as the crazy stuff you can make in Kerbal. So once you make them, once you had your fun, you put something in space or whatever, you find the problem that you can't really, adapt them to your normal game, and you end up just getting bored with it, and end up throwing it away or something, just getting rid of the mod completely sometimes. So yeah, this is very stock alike. The parts fit in with the game. They're very nicely modeled. I like them. Some recommended mods are recommended by the creator to so you can get the full effect of the mod is Flight Manager for reusable stages, which allows you to recover your stages easier. I don't have that installed right now, but if you know what the mod is, go ahead and use that. It makes the mod a lot more enjoyable. And trajectories, which allows you to see the rocket, where the rocket's gonna land exactly. So that makes landing them a lot easier. The mod's also compatible with Tweak Scale, Real Plume, and Ferrum Aerospace. So if that's what you're worried about, aerodynamics with Ferrum Aerospace, you can use this mod. So that's a plus. So anyway, let's go ahead and get a look at the parts in the VAB. So no parts in this category. In the first category, we have a part is in the fuel tank. So that is a Dragon fuel tank right here. Very nicely modeled, carries liquid fuel and oxidizer. For engines, we have a Super Draco engines, which are part of the Dragon Capsule, Dragon B2 Capsule. So one of them runs on RCS and one of them runs on normal liquid fuel, which is why you have this tank. So there you go. For command and control, we have an advanced Werner thrust system, one medium and one large. They are exactly like this. They use liquid fuel, but they have more vectors where they can produce thrust, allowing you to have more control over your ship with less parts. Sometimes you have to add 4 of these, like this, one like that, one like that, or something, just so you can get more vectors where you can produce thrust. It gets annoying. You have to add some on the back so you can make your ship go forward when you're trying to dock. That's not, it makes everything a lot less beautiful once your parts are, you start crowding too many parts and then your computer starts lagging, and it's a pain with those. So these are much better. They produce thrust in many directions, and they look really nice too. So structural, I don't believe we have anything there. For coupling, we have one part, and that is the aerodynamic docking port. It's basically a nose cone, and it's a docking port. So open, see, docking port. It's compatible with all other docking ports in the game except the large one. So there you go. Very nice looking part. Usable for docking with space stations or whatever, or just space construction, whatever you're into. Aerodynamics is another part that we have. A couple more parts we have here. So let's get a couple fuel tanks so we can have more space to show these babies out. So let's move up. Alright. There we go. Now let's go back to aerodynamics. Okay, so first, the biggest part in the game, I think, is the deployable wing base. So you get deployable wings, you mount them. There we go. There we go. Alright, retract wing, see? You mount it, you fly your rocket, you deploy them. Once you're staging, right? Once you're done flying it, once your payload is up in space or whatever, deploy them, you fly your rocket back, you put another one on the side, you fly your rocket back and land on the runway. So that's a very nice concept. I never seen anyone do anything like that in a mod, and you know, this is a very simple mod that has a couple parts, but this is one of the cooler ones. I haven't been able to use them very well because, you know, my rocket, I haven't, you know, experimented too much with it. I just, you know, tried it out and I liked it, so, you know, I'll show it off in a rocket that I built in a little bit. So next we have the fins, the grid fins on the Falcon 9 rocket. They move once you deploy them. They help you guide your rocket down. They slow down your rocket quite a bit, so they're very useful. And what else do we have here? I think that's it for this. So ground, another large part of the mod. So the landing gears there for the Falcon rocket, you know, the legs. If you have fire spitter, you can change the color. You can make them black. Up to you. That's preference. I didn't install it since this is like a one mod review, so you know that's an option too if you want to change the color of that. All right. So the next part of the mod is the Glen rocket spacecraft. So this is the bottom part of the Glen rocket. You can see pictures and see how it looks like if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's it. The landing legs are constructed into the rocket, so they don't provide as much drag as these would. Which they don't provide much drag at all. But you know what I mean. So yeah, extend engines down here. You can hide your engines if you push this down a bit. You push it down, you can put your engines in there, and you can see your engines. Once it starts flying, you can see them ignite from the bottom only. So yeah, next we have the shepherd leg landing legs, which are very nice looking. You can use them. They're the smallest, I think, in the game. Oh, no, actually, the Glen rockets are the smaller ones. The small version of the Glen rocket. So yeah, but these are cool. You can use them for your landing. You can put a lot of under the rocket. You know, engines, science, whatever you need. Sometimes I have trouble getting the right parts on my landers. Making the mission more complicated. With these, they provide a lot of clearance. You can push them down as much as you want, you know, providing more clearance at the bottom. And they're very nice looking. You can use them all. All these landing legs, you can use them for whatever you want. They're an improvement over these, which are the normal ones. They look pretty ugly compared to these, so you know, I would install the mod just for the landing legs if you ask me. So you know, whatever. Thermal, you get one part in thermal. That's a Dragon Heat Shield. You know, it's a heat shield, so it protects you from heat. And the most interesting part is it has gear in there, so you can land this, like you know, unlike other heat shields that will probably blow up once you hit the ground. This one would land. Usable for Dragon capsules. You know, you can land your Dragon capsules once you're done with your mission. Electrical, no parts. Communication, no parts. I don't think. Science, no parts. And utility, no parts. So that's it. That's basically for the parts in the mod. I built some rockets that we can use to show these things off. So I built the Falcon 9 first stage with a K because we're playing Kerbal, you know, remember that. So here it is. I used the guide located in the forum page for the mod. The modder created a small guide that teaches you how to build these reusable stages. But you know, I just did it because that's the way the modder, you know, kind of wanted people to at least know how to use them. So I'm gonna show that off right now. Probe core batteries, whatever, grid fins, Werner thrusters, legs, right? So basically a Falcon first stage engine. So let's go ahead and launch this thing and see these parts in action. Alright, so we're just gonna go up first show how the mission would go if you're actually, trying to reuse your rockets or whatever. So, launch. Check the legs. You wouldn't launch your rocket like this, unless you were really into the reusability. But, the legs will deploy after you deliver your payload into the trajectory you want to be in. So anyway, you will fly up, not in the same trajectory you will fly a normal rocket, because if you fly too horizontally, you end up flying too far and you're unable to return back to your space center. So, that's a thing to keep in mind. So let's pretend that we're already high up into the atmosphere. Once you're up there, say around 40 kilometers or so, you turn off your engines, you decouple the payload flies off, alright? The rocket naturally, the way I designed it was by turning off this gas, so the rocket would be a little bit heavier at the bottom. I don't think we lost too much mass though, since we're not doing a full mission here. So you would start turning your rocket back in the direction you want to land on. So if you want to land over there, you would fly a little bit further into the other continent, but that's up to you. You would start burning in the direction you want to go. So we want to go back to the Kerbal Space Center, or at least get close to it. I tried landing already, but I wasn't very successful at landing near, and that one was a complete failure. So yeah, it's not the easiest thing. That's why you need the trajectories mod. It will tell you where you're gonna land once you have trajectories installed. But anyway, let's make sure that we're gonna land where we want to land at. Do a little bit more burn. This is not the way SpaceX does it, but it's the way you would do it in Kerbal anyway. So anyway, let's burn back to the direction we want. And the very interesting thing about this is that the grid fins deploy when you deploy your brakes. So there you go, they deployed. And the cool thing is they also move. Not many mods do that, but this one does. And they move and they help guide your rocket down, which is a cool part for the mod. So anyway, let's do the burn so we get closer to the space center. Not too far. And let's just go ahead and just let this take its course. Next we'll be checking out the Dragon capsule, or how you would build one in the game. Let's go ahead and activate the gas here, so we don't end up running out of fuel. Deploy the landing legs. Have a little noise to it, which is very nice, very nice. Just go land carefully, not too hard, not too soft. The landing legs are very durable, so not the best landing I had, but there we go. Okay, not the best landing, but you get the point, right? You get the point. I hope. Oh man, it's gonna fall over. Anyway, some of it survived, so there you go, reusability, right? The engines, the most important part, survived, so boom. And there's the other one, the one I had a successful landing at. Over there in the distance, here you go, see? This is a successful landing. I wasn't in such a rush as I am now to get everything in a compact size for a mod review. So yeah, you will land your rocket, bing bang boom, recover vessel, and you will get most of the cost back. Boom, done. The next thing we're going to review is the Dragon capsule, or the imitation I built in the game. So let's look for that. This one, load that. This is the way you would normally launch this, right? Very nice looking rocket. Struts. I added struts because the rocket was very wobbly. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a problem with the game now, that parts are very wobbly now, or maybe just the way I built it. I don't know. Maybe it's a little long. It might be a little long. But, it should be a little more structural. More rigid, I guess you could say. So anyway, let's go ahead and launch this and show off the capsule. You always want to have a parachute. Even SpaceX has a parachute on their capsule. But let's go ahead and disengage this so you can see. At the bottom you have cargo. A cargo pod. You can put all the cargo you would need in there. Do what you need. dock with a space station, fly and dock with a space station, and release your cargo, deliver it. You know, the way that the Dragon spacecraft was designed to do, except in Kerbal. So anyway, let's go ahead and fly it and show it off in action. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so you know, you would thrust all the way up to the maximum. You have a crew. But that's the normal capsule. That's not added by the mod. It's just the normal capsule. The normal capsule in the game, 3-man capsule. Which is something I like because, you know, you can use parts in the normal game and you can use parts of the mod combined together to create something cool. Something you can do with many mods. So anyway, thrust to maximum and release the clamps. Fly up, do what you need to do. You know, this has enough delta B to probably take you to the moon and go back and stuff, whatever. Not land, but you know, do at least an orbit or something. Anyway, you would fly up, get your trajectory wherever. Wobbly rocket, that's not, I don't know why that's the thing. Anyway, so let's pretend we're already there. So stage, maximum power, fly off, do what you need to do, and then stage again, release the Dragon capsule. And yeah, here you go, here you have the Dragon capsule. Let's go ahead and engage the engine so you can see the animations for that. Let's release the payload. You know, payload would eject, not this violently. You know, in space it will be a lot more smoother. The engine's engaged, that's how the engines look. Very cool. And once you're coming home, you want to release your trunk, which is the call. The fins are also modded. They're part of the mod, so you know, just remember that. I forgot to mention those. They're very nice looking fins. Anyway, so release that. Did it release? I don't think it released. Okay, there we go. Alright, so there you go. So you're coming for a landing. The ablator would take care of the heat. Boom. And you can extend the gear like that. Sadly, we're not going to land anywhere near the land, so that's a problem. And also, let's take a look at this thing. Slow, smooth animation, very nice. Everyone likes that. And yeah, so you get to activate the engines. They have more than enough thrust to land softly. You know, whatever. We have another thing to look at after this, so the wings, the deployable wings added by the mod too, so that's the thing. I'm gonna deploy the thing because I'm not too sure we're gonna land here. But you get the point, right? You wouldn't land with this. Little rush to get the video into a smaller file. But whatever, you know what I mean. Get to land, do what you need to do. Boom. Alright. So on land, you do that, not in the water. The Dragon capsule also is assigned to land in the water, but you know what I mean. Just play as you want. Recover the vessel, and then we'll have a cooler, more sci-fi kind of the mod, which is the most part. We'll look at the Glen rocket, which I modified into a, let's see here, what did I call it? New Glen rocket with wings. You can also build a New Glen rocket with the Dragon. Same thing. Deploy the landing legs and land. Do whatever you want. Looks very cool. Those engines look nice. Those are the vector engines, so you know, play as you want. But that's the way I found that this would look good. So anyway, let's get the New Glen rocket with wings on here. So yeah. Alright. Let's go see what we can do here. Launch. The best. They don't provide much lift, but you know you know what they're supposed to be used for. Let's go ahead and deploy them. Extend wings. Extend. Alright. So you will fly this as a normal rocket. You wouldn't do this first. You would fly up, deliver your payload into a high sub-trajectory orbit, and then return back home. So here we go. Let's go ahead and launch. Alright. So yeah, they act just like a plane would. Very nice, very cool. You can add landing legs, as I did here. You can try to land. I haven't been able to land successfully, I'll admit. But yeah. That's pretty much it for the mod, I think. You can build pretty nice looking things like this with wings and landing legs. Very nice model landing legs. If you want landing legs that look very cool, this is the mod for you too. The landing legs in this game, in this mod, are the greatest I've seen in a while. They're very nicely built. They do what they do. That you can land on them easily. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and click on the little bell now, because that's a thing in YouTube. I don't know why. Apparently YouTube is having some trouble with videos, but whatever. Yeah, that's it for the mod, so I'll see you all in the next video. I'll leave the link in the description. If you like the mod, make sure to download it, comment on the forum thread, recommendations to the mod creator, whatever you want. Tell them how much you like the mod too. I like the mod. I might be playing it with it in my next modded series of Kerbal. So yeah, I'll see you all later.